Good morning, everyone. You're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Yeah, four-eyed Skoda, whatever you want to say. It was a big thing when I was in school. Was if you wore glasses, they called you four eyes. Yeah, a lot of us, I only wore them to see the blackboard. I didn't wear them very often until I started driving. Four eyes. And is that a bad thing? We did have four eyes. That was very funny. I had a friend of mine who was adopted. And people would make fun of him. Oh, you're adopted. Your parents didn't want you, so forth and so on. Always making fun of him. But he had a great comeback. I think he believed it in his heart. He's like, he point to those kids and say, my parents chose me. Your parents are stuck with you. My parents chose me, and your parents are stuck with you. Wow. What a thought. Ever think about those kind of things? Regardless of where we are in life, there's always good and bad and indifference. And that's okay. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about trimming the fat. The fat, yeah, physically fat. Like I have a little bit of my stomach area for sure. A lot of women have it in their hip area. But trimming the fat or getting rid of the fat, losing the fat, it's not just body weight, and that's some of it, but it's other things that slow us down in life. For instance, how many of us have those negative friends or maybe those parents in our lives? Things like that. People who are constantly complaining about everything. The sun's too bright, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too dark, it's too bright, it's too everything. Or you're not treating me with respect enough, and so forth and so on. We all know people like that. Maybe not to the extremes about complaining about everything, but we can count on them complaining about something. You understand, that is also some of that fat we have to trim or eliminate altogether if at all possible. You understand, we have family members. I have a family member that complains about the world and everything he talks about. It's always about politics, always about politics. The moon could be too bright. It's a political issue. Whatever. Who knows? And there's a time and place for things. And I love those political banter back and forth. And I love comedy and I love making fun of people. But realize when we're making fun of people or when we're gossiping behind someone else's back, somebody usually is doing the same to us. Yeah, we can think we got it going on and no one's ever going to say a negative word against us. But that happens. Because here's what I'll talk to you about a little other things we need to trim is our egos. How many of us have that big ego? I do sometimes. A lot of you know that I'm a Toastmasters and I'm a public speaker, even a paid speaker sometimes, and I really enjoy it. But the more I do it, the more confident I get. And I wouldn't say arrogant, but I can't come across that way as arrogant because I use a lot of different props. For instance, I might wear a hat like this. And you see, I'll wear a top hat or a golden hat or a fedora or a baseball cap, or I might have a pipe. I might be smoking a cigarette. I might have a cane, so forth and so on. I like to use props in different outfits when I'm speaking. Now, it depends on what I'm talking about, of course. And I like to wear this one when I'd say you need to be the captain of your own ship. You need to take charge of your own life. And that's something also we need to do if we're going to trim the fat, right? So the more we wear things like that, and there's a time and place for everything, of course, but the more we get out there and develop that confidence, we can develop a big head. I know I have one sometimes. Maybe because that's why I won't cut my hair very often because I'm afraid it won't grow back. With the thicker hair, it makes my head look bigger, right? Now, even though my forehead's getting bigger, also, I still have more hair than my younger brothers. Always something to be proud of. We need to trim the fat in our lives, and sometimes like me, I'm a network marketer. I bought in this tool and that system and this program and so many books, and I have all these things. And the problem is whether I read it, whether I start it, whether I get involved with it, I don't I can't stay on things for a long time. I'm not consistent in everything I do. Now, if I read that first book, How to Make Friends and Influence People by Carnegie Hall, and just keep going, that one going, and just remember we can make friends everywhere just by asking them a few questions and say, I agree with you, that sounds great, and keep that in my mind. That's awesome. But there are so many programs I bought that could help me succeed much faster in my life, but I didn't pursue it. I wasn't consistent. I got distracted by following that next shiny thing, the next shiny nickel. And you know what I'm talking about. We all do things like that. We want to get rich quick, right? Getting rich slow, it sucks. Getting rich quick is a little bit better, but getting rich, period, is kind of where it's all at. But what do we have to define what rich is? Is it necessarily money? Is it time? I mean, time's a big one, especially if you have grandchildren. You get to spend more time and quality time with them, or you just freedom to come and go as you please. So we have to define what all those things are. But getting back to trim of my fat, since I've had tens of thousands of dollars worth of books and programs and systems, I don't have to learn them all. I just have to stick with one or two and maybe three and be consistent with those and trim the rest out of my marketing program, trim the rest out of my coaching that I do for others, and just trim it out of my life, because the more stuff we have around us, the more clutter. We need to minimize the clutter in our lives. Like this dark shirt against a dark chair. Hey, I know it's not the most brightest thing. I do have a lot of lights all over the place. It's not using one at the moment. And that's talking a little bit about programs and systems and equipment that I have that I don't use on a regular basis, and I should. Lighting is not one of the things I'm going to get rid of, but some of the other things I will. Yeah, maybe this beard. Who knows? But we can trim those systems out of our life that are cluttering our everyday being, and therefore slows us down. We can trim the people, the negative people in our lives, even the Karens that can drag us back. We can trim the physically the fat that helps us lose the energy that we desperately need. Because even if we have the time, the talent, the treasures, if we got too much weight in the middle, we're not really able to utilize it or use our full energy to make it work for us. I've got some great grandkids. They call me G-Paw. And there's nothing special. First time G-Paw, that doesn't make any sense. I'm Grandpa. But G-Paw stuck. And it brings a big smile to my face when I see those kids. It's pretty exciting. And well, they're travel too. So there'll become a time in their life where they're moving out of, not just out of state, but out of country here in a few months. And when I see them again, those kids are going to grow bigger. They're going to get bigger. They're going to have new friends, different experiences, different atmosphere. But I still want to be part of their life, and I don't want them to remember me as a big guy can barely get out of his chair. I don't want them to remember me just from pictures. I want to be there. I want to share those sweet 16s and those other birthday parties and special moments in their life. I want to be there to go to the zoo or walk along the beaches or just travel anywhere. It doesn't matter where we travel, because what I've learned through life, it doesn't matter how much money we have and how many great things we buy each other. It's experiences. It's experiences. It could just be a walk around the park with the grandkids. It could be going to the zoo. It could be taking a train across the country, or just flying to, well, my kids are old enough, but the grandkids are, but wine country somewhere. Those are experiences that's important. One time I took my son up to Denver and we were racing Ferraris. And another time I took my other son out to the beach, and we're just making sandcastles. Totally different experience in dollar amount investment, but yet it was both enlightening experiences. It was still investing in my kids and my grandkids. When we trim the fat out of our lives, we can invest just a little more of ourselves into things that really matter, into people that really matter, into friendships that we should develop and nurture. Now, I've got a few friends, and I used to think I've had dozens of friends, and if you have a handful of friends, 4 or 5 that you can really call 2 or 3 in the morning for anything, who will be there, that's a blessing. We need to count those blessings, and if we have 5, we don't want it to go down to 2. Let's try to nurture those 5, and maybe we can only physically or emotionally devote time to 3 of them or 2, whatever it is. But take the time to spend individually with each of those friends and together if you can, and nurture them and be consistent with whatever you're doing in life. My problem was I was never consistent. I always not necessarily got distracted. I looked for distractions. And as I was buying a new book and I was looking at another self-help video, as I was learning a new process or program, they were just distractions. Now, I belong to My Lead System Pro, and I think that's the best lead generation program, bar none, in the world, because we teach about branding and marketing. We teach about branding ourselves. And the thing about that company is helped me brand myself, not just for that company, but in the other things that I'm working with. It helps me to focus just a little bit better than I could on my own. And when you learn how to develop a trust with a client, a friend, a potential networker yourself, you can accomplish anything. But sometimes we're just throwing things down people's throats so fast and if, throwing up on them, and it's making them sick. They just want to run when they see us. But it's okay to ask for the sale after you've had a few contacts with that person. It's okay to ask for money. Because if you're given something valuable in the marketplace, in the workplace, you can ask for some money to help them get ahead, to help them achieve what they want. That's how we make money, right? Is by working on our own brand, by working our own self-worth so we can share and grow and become that person that others want. Which reminds me, go to josephscota.com and look me up. And you want to learn a little bit more about some of those programs I'm still involved with, please look me up and subscribe to our channel. But as I was saying, I want to get back to is trim the fat, because over time I learned how to trim some of those other processes out of my life. I was able to focus on things that were really important. I was able to share experiences with loved ones and friends. I was able to coach other people to success in their own businesses, in their own lives. Now, sometimes we have to fail a few times ourselves to say, if I ever got to teach someone how to do this, how about show them how to do it this other way and not not the way I learned. Like I said, it's okay to be the captain of your own ship. And if you're going to be the captain, do it right. Let's not be too ridiculous. Let's be serious. So this could be, hey, I got a big ego. I can dress, I can walk and talk any way I want to, and there's a time and place. If you're a comedian, my dad used to say, but he said I kind of went overboard too much, and maybe some of you do that also. So think about where we can trim the fat. Maybe we eat too much, maybe we drink too much, maybe we talk too much, or maybe we hang out with our baggage. All those things slow us down. All those things stop us from being all that we can be. Stop us from being who God created us to be. Understand, God created all of us to be a little bit unique. Some of us will have 4 eyes or 6 eyes or no eyes. Like I have a friend of mine who is blind. He became blind as a child, but he became a public speaker. in Toastmasters, became a world champion of public speaking. He written 3 or 4, maybe 5. He told me he was a judge and presided over cases about Social Security, people getting disability benefits, and a lot of things. And they say, "Oh, Judge, you don't understand. I got a hearing problem, or I can't work, or I'm having a vision issue here, and I just can't see it. I can't consistently work." And he told me one time he took the glasses off and says, "Well, I'm totally blind, and I'm up here and I'm working 40 hours a week. So what's your excuse again?" We often make excuses for things because we don't want to be consistent and follow through and get the job done. So we'll make excuses, get out of it. It's a distraction in a way. So we don't have to do the work that it takes to have success, to develop the skills, the leadership skills, the marketing skills, the branding skills, the parenting skills to other. Lose that gossiping, lose that talk about one another. Don't ever talk down to your kids. Discipline when necessary, absolutely. Don't let the kids walk all over you. It's so good. We all need a little bit of discipline in our lives sometimes. And if we learn there's a purpose for it that helps to form us and our children to doing the right things all the time, that's a way to trim the fat too, who we shouldn't, then we can really fulfill our journey. And if we find that right partner in our lives journey, we can go so far. But when that partner state starts taking you down or slowing you down or says you ain't going anywhere, man, obviously you're not going out. And you find that right partner, do whatever it takes to nurture, to keep it going. We've all had those habits, hurts, breakups. I have too, and it's sad. Side of ourselves. They have their own problems, their own issues, and they do work on also. But work on yourself. And work on ourselves is to stay positive despite the circumstances. Work on ourselves is getting rid of those people or things take us down. At the end of our lives, we're all going to be buried 6 foot under unless you're in a wall somewhere, despite how much money you have. But how many lives did you touch? How many people were you able to share positive experiences with? How many did you lift up to greater success than they ever thought they can do? Whether you're G-Pa or Grandpa or Grandma or Auntie or Uncle or Tia, Tio, brother, sister, whatever it is, that's a title you should take seriously. We're all a child of God, and that's a title we should take seriously also. So whatever it is, trim the fat in your life. Cut it out completely if at all possible. And if you stray down the wrong path, hey, get out my way. You got to go and get back to where we need to be. With that being said, definitely look us up, josephscola.com. And, we're all part of Social Media Shows Network and so many other things. But whatever it is, do the best you can do. And don't beat yourself up for yesterday. Today's a new day to take action. Today's a new day to make a difference. Today is a new day. With that being said, you're in the office with Joseph Skoda. Make today count and have an awesome life. Bye now. La 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 la. How do we do this? Okay, I know. So, all right. Sometimes my eyes are hurting. If you liked our show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or find us on any social media platform, Instagram, of course, Facebook. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts and join our team. Anyways, we appreciate you staying tuned week after week, day after day, because we continuously build up our network to bring to you what you're asking for. Have a great day. This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're This show is brought to you by Michelle Kubiak with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Michelle at 702-683-6576. Her license number is S.48606. This show is also brought to you by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, located on Silverado Ranch, here in Henderson, Nevada. Restore, relax, and refresh. Let's not forget our very own Meryl and Merrick comedy show. This fun, comical TV sitcom duo with Social Media Source Network loves to make you laugh. Mahal Empire Productions. It's a filmmaker based in Las Vegas, Nevada. Founded by Michael and Sonny Mahal, and are dedicated to making feature films. Turn your power on with Broken Bulb Productions. Owned by Russell Rapp, an independent filmmaker based out of New Jersey. This show is brought to you by, let's not forget, our very own GI Connections. It's a nonprofit organization that connects veterans with resources. We're also proud to recognize Prolific Arts with Sonia Scott. Painting is the expression of emotion and feeling deep within one's heart. Let's not forget Matoma Environmental Technologies. Global research, development, and manufacturing of innovative photocatalytic products. Our show was also brought to you by Carmelo Rodriguez, who is the author of a best-selling book called Smile. It's based on true events. It's the story of a couple building a family. Get your copy of his book at Amazon today. We also love our musicians. Think about Frank's Tribute, an all-star band. It's a Green Bay-based band with Let Me Be Frank's Productions, family owned by Frank Hermans, who happens to be a veteran entertainer.